deal, y'all. Top of the morning, man. Top of the morning. Y'all know the deal, man. Morning routine, taking the kids to school, but I'm giving y'all that good news views. That good knowledge, though. You ain't finna get nobody's college, though, here at 10, man. Trap News Network. Good news views, good knowledge, though. You ain't finna get nobody's college, though, big dog. Hit the like, hit the comment, hit the good subscribe button for everything we got going on here at 10 Trap News Network. Yeah. That good news, that good knowledge. You ain't finna get nobody's college, big dog. Hit the like, hit the comment, hit the good subscribe button for everything we got going on here at TNN Trap News Network. Like, comment, subscribe, like, comment, subscribe, like, comment, and hit that good subscribe button for everything we got going on. News, reviews, knowledge. You ain't finna get nobody's college, man. I'm back in the whip, running around, running my errands. About to give y'all another Young and Hefe style video. Big shout out to Young and Hefe. Don't care about nothing but the checks, eh? Tap in with that, tap in. If you ain't tapped in with bro, check in with that. We finna go ahead and hit the like, hit the comment, hit the good subscribe button as we continue to run through these YouTube streets, man. We got Big U getting hit with some more whoopty bounds from the feds. Kind of a sticky, tricky, icky, bicky situation. We gonna see what's going on, man. Let's slide over there and see what street creds talk about. Let's jump into it. Let's go.
Loose Cannon, Brick Baby is right there along with him. But we're gonna jump right into it because their trial has been postponed. It's been pushed out. They've been given, that seemed like the feds want to give it some more time. And it seemed like the co-defendants want to give it some more time too. About an entire year. It's supposed to be, they set to go to trial. They were set to go to trial May 9th, right, of this year. Now they set the trial for I believe May 4th of 2026. And you know what? The co-defendants want that. The federales want that. But Big U doesn't want that.
Request for continuation of trial date and findings of excludable time periods pursuant to the Speedy Trial Act. And so the document says plaintiff, United States of America, by and through its counsel of records, and defendants Sylvester Robinson, Mark Martin, Tremaine Williams, Armani Elefe, Frederick Blanton Jr., and Tiffany Shanika Hines, all individually and by and through their counsels of records, respectfully hereby stipulate as follows. The indictment in this case was filed on March 26, 2025. Defendants Robinson, Martin, this chick Blanton, and Hines first appeared before a judicial officer of the court in which the charges in this case were pending on March 19th, 2025. The Speedy Trial Act originally required that the trial commence on or before June 4th, 2025 as to those defendants. Defendant Henley first appeared before judicial officer of the court in which the charges in this case were pending on March 20th, 2025, and the Speedy Trial Act thus originally required that the trial commence on or before June 4th, 2025 as to that defendant. Defendant Williams, this is Loose Cannon, first appeared before a judicial officer of the court in which the charges in this case were pending on April 4th, 2025. The Speedy Trial Act thus originally required that the trial commence on or before June 13th, 2025. On April 4th, 2025, the court set a trial date of March 19th, 2025, and a pretrial conference of May 9th, 2025 as to the defendant Loose Cannon. On April 18th and 14th, 2025, the court set a trial date of May 20th, 2025, and pretrial conference for May 9th for all other defendants. Defendants Henley and Williams are detained pending trial. Henley is Big U, Williams again is Loose Cannon. The remaining defendants are on bond pending trial. The parties estimate that the trial in this matter will last approximately 12 days. By this stipulation, defendants move to continue the trial date to May 4th, 2026 and the pretrial conference date to April 24th, 2026. This is the first request for a continuation. Defendants request the continuance based upon the following facts. Defendants are charged with varying violations of 18 U.S.C. 1962, the Racketeer Influence and Corrupt Organizations Conspiracy Act, and conspiracy to interfere with commerce by robbery and extortion, interference with commerce by robbery and extortion, transportation of an individual in interstate commerce with the intent that that individual engage in prostitution, wire fraud, embezzlement, conversion, and international misapplication of funds from organization receiving federal funds, bank fraud, attempt to evade and defeat the assessment and payment of income tax, willful failure to file a tax return, and the government has produced over 60 gigabytes of discovery to the defense, including law enforcement reports, certain returns, criminal history documents, recordings, and photographs. The government is in the process of producing over 20,000 intercepted audio calls, as well as numerous surreptitious audio and video recordings, much of which will be protected discovery. The government sent defense counsel a stipulation for a protective order.
Over 60 gigabytes and 20,000 wiretap calls. You know what? We we watching a modern day mob situation play out. You know, like when they catch Gotti, when they catch one of them boys, you know what I mean, and they really and they pull the blankets back and they see what's really going on over there. I mean, this is some real live. And the way they're able to use technology and the internet and these podcasts and these no jumpers and all of that to set them boys up these days, Big U didn't have a chance. Loose Cannon, who's defended Williams, didn't have a chance. They don't have a fighting chance that the...
Now, one of the more interesting things about the situation is that protective order. That protective order is put into place because, number one, they finna be informed of who's telling. That's finna come out. A few people actually finna get exposed on that snitch list. And the protective order is put into place to where if you say anything to or about these people, even through a third party, through threats and blah, 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 it's going to be used against you. You know what I'm saying? So if anything happens to those people who are on the list, it's for sure going to be used against everybody in that court case. You feel me? In those 20,000 wiretaps, let's make it clear that those are not 20,000 new situations. These are 20,000 wiretaps they have in total about this dude and about what he has going on as far as his extracurriculars and all that kind of stuff. And the same thing goes for, everybody involved of. So I would assume that maybe it's a collection of 20,000 wiretaps amongst all the defendants. I would assume. But it's not 20,000 new cases. It's not 20,000 new charges. That's being misinformation being spread through the media. It's 20,000 wiretaps all together since they've been looking into the situation. You feel me? And I'm not saying that that's not a lot because that's an incredible amount of wiretaps, but it's not 20,000 new cases. And again, I just want to kind of point out the fact that they have this protective order in place, and that's to protect the identities and the 1-2 steps of those who are about to be out there telling. So let's kind of throw that back into the universe. But I'm gonna give y'all a little bit more of this. Let's jump back into it.
Beware. This podcast and people like to go and clout chase and get clout for what they doing in these streets, which is if you a gangster, which is the absolute opposite of what you should be doing. But to each his own. Because like I said, if Big U has any connection to Nipsey's murder, this is that deep fry process that's supposed to be happening. That's going to, uncover everything that needs to cover. That's going to connect. Hopefully, possibly allegedly connect to something. Because again, when you doing this type of stuff out there, and you in these streets, and you running wild like that, and you supposed to be the leader of the Rolling 60 Crips, I would think that you'd be on the phone a whole lot less than allowing them to be able to wiretap 20,000 intercepted calls. That's a lot of calls, man. I don't know what kind of pillow talking really going on with that many. With 20,000 calls. That's to me that's bizarre. That's insane. All I know is that if I was in those types of shoes, which I would never be, if I was in them types of shoes, I wouldn't even be on the phone. I would have known the feds obviously watching me. I mean, you got to be next level dumb to not know that they got your phone tapped. With all the technology they have these day and age, they can just tap right into the system. So it's getting worse and worse. When them feds stretch that thing out and say, we're not going to have enough time to get this done around this time. Look, if they really want to get somebody bad enough, they're going to do it at the time that they want to do it at, right? But they're not going to give Big U what he wants because they know why he wants it. And him being so eager to run the trial when he's facing 600 years shows them something. It shows the feds that there's more skeletons in the closet. I mean, there's some more things up under their blanket they got to pull back. I mean, there's some more layers they got to peel back. There's more things they got to unpack. That's what it shows the feds. And they're able to say, look, we got other cases that's more important to take care of, that's very timely, and we need more time to prepare. Now, this absolutely happens in all cases and in Fed cases, but, not just too long ago, they was all ready to go to trial, I believe, May 9th of this year. right? Then all of a sudden, co-defendants, people start saying things, not saying that anybody's quite talking yet, but they may have some notion that they may have some motion that somebody is about to crack, that somebody is about to break, and somebody gonna bust wide open. And so, give them a year to sit for a little while to find out how horrible it is in the feds, and somebody gonna break. And it's gonna just make it that much more easier for them to drop you, Big U, deep in.
So that's tricky. One thing that's gonna be super clear. Love you guys. Have a good day at school. Love you guys. All right, my bad, y'all dropping the kids off at school. Got mosquito just flew in my car. Get up out of here, big dog. Yeah, but nah. My bad, mosquito just flew in the car. That's what we don't need on a Thursday morning. No mosquito bites. My bad. Yeah. Now, what I will say again is extremely true that he was just telling us about the DA in the government, not even the state, in the country was ready to go to war. Just ready to go to war, man. Hey, May, we're gonna set it on fire. We're gonna take them to trial. Something happened where they was like, hold up, wait a minute. Somebody started talking. And that could be why somebody is like, hey, man, we need to slow this whole situation down because so-and-so might give us some new information. Hey, wait, so-and-so's giving new information. Yeah, so-and-so's giving new information. Wait, we ain't had time to look into that because we still got this and this and this going on because, we dealing with the country's problem, not just this one problem. And Wooty Bam, let's put this whole thing on pause. And then boom, the government puts the whole thing on pause so they can tend to the matters in front of them already. Because you got people who've been sitting in the feds for years already trying to get court dates and all that, blah, blah, blah. So they're going to handle that, put Big U and them off for a year. Notice they're not putting a gag order in place. I thought that was interesting. A gag order would mean that nobody can speak about the case. They did not put a gag order in place, but they made it abundantly clear that the lawyers are not allowed to take away the paperwork as far as who's snitching and share it with the public. It's only to be seen by the defendants while in the presence of their lawyers and all that kind of stuff. So, I don't know, man, but we'll continue to keep y'all updated as these stories and more continue to develop. Make sure y'all hit that like, hit that comment, hit that good subscribe button. And we finna get up out of here to the next one. Y'all know the deal. It's Rich Trapper signing out. TNN Trap News Network. News you can use, knowledge you can't get in college, big dog. We up out of here. Free Avenue Angel Tweets free. We gone.